Hi boys and girls, I have a new video today about turtles, specifically the common snapping turtle. I'm going to post a little video if I can figure out how to link it together. You know me, I'm not a techie grandma, so I've got to figure out how to do all this. I'm still learning, and I've got so many other things going on that sometimes I don't put in the time it takes to learn how to do all this. So thank you for your patience though. So I was walking down my driveway the other day. Actually, my son came home and told me there is a turtle in our driveway. We've seen a very pretty turtle there before. It was a box turtle and it had orange markings on it. It was really pretty, small little thing. But this time it was a common snapping turtle. Now, you know they get their snapping name because they snap with their jaws. What do you think they're doing when they're doing that? Yeah, trying to bite something. Either their food or something they feel threatened by. So, I videoed that turtle some. He wasn't real thrilled with me trying to mess with him, but he ended up being in our road, and I was trying to help him get to the other side. So, let me get my doggy out of here. Come here, Titus. Come. Titus, come. Go. He opened the door. So, I was trying to push him. Not push him out. I didn't want to pick him up because at first I thought it was an alligator snapping turtle. I should have known better because I knew those turtles have the ridges on them. And we'll kind of talk about them today too. But so I looked it up, and it was a common snapping turtle. But I didn't want to get bit. They do bite, and actually, you might think that the alligator turtle is more dangerous than the snapping turtle, but actually, the common snapping turtle is very aggressive, and they're more dangerous than the alligator turtles. The alligator turtles look more threatening. They can actually be bigger. Their mouth opens a whole lot bigger. How big can you open your mouth? Try it. It's hard to open your mouth really big, but that turtle, his mouth opens big. So I'm going to link some videos at the bottom for you to look at some videos with Coyote Peterson, which you know we really like his show. And he has several about turtles, and he compares the common snapping turtle with the alligator turtle, and you can see how big the alligator's mouth is more than the other. He also takes his hand and pushes it up against each one of their mouths, and the alligator turtle, he just keeps his mouth open and he doesn't really do anything. Do not do it though. I would not suggest that. Stay away from their mouth. And the snapping turtle, it jumped his head. He just threw his head out and tried to bite him really quick. They are very aggressive turtles. And when you pick them up, don't pick them up on the sides. They can actually reach around it and get you. Now, the alligator turtle can't. His neck is not long enough, but there are certain ways they suggest you hold if you have to. But most of the time, it's not a good idea to even mess with the turtles. So, but I know there are people who want to get them off the road, kind of like people like me who want them to be safe. So you help them move across. So watch the video if you're going to do that, so you will know the proper way to move them and help them to the other side. Why did the turtle cross the road? It's not a joke. Sometimes they cross the road. Usually it will be a female because she is trying to find a place to lay her eggs in the away from the water, a place that will be safe. But sometimes it's a turtle who's looking for a new place to be in the water, and maybe it dries up or maybe it got shallow, whatever reason. Sometimes they change their little places, like sometimes we move from one house to another. Well, the turtle might want to live in a different pond or river or stream or lake. So let me tell you a few things I learned about the turtles. So adult common snapping turtles, their shell can be 20 to 24 inches long, and that's like 2 rulers. You're in school, right? And you have to use the little 12-inch ruler. So put 2 of them together on your table, and that is how big their shell can be from the top to the back. So they can also weigh up to 35 pounds. Some can even weigh up to 50 pounds. There was a record-breaking turtle in Nebraska that weighed 76 pounds. So they can get pretty big. They can also get up to 50 years old. Some more, some less. And their shell, it can be a brown, it can be kind of a greenish color, and sometimes they're covered with moss. And you know why? Because turtles wear camo. No, the snapping turtle and even the alligator turtle, sometimes they have moss or algae. It's kind of greeny or brown. It depends, because it can get in the murky waters and it looks camouflaged. Some people have even thought, oh, look at that log, and it ended up being a turtle. I think you'll see that on the Coyote Peterson show. So an alligator snapping turtle has ridges on its shell. It's the top shell is called a carapace. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but if you notice, their claws are very long, and in my picture I zoomed in on it and I looked at them, and the tail of the snapping turtle has like little dinosaur humps. Those are called, let me look, I wrote it down. It's called, where did I put that? Now I know I wrote it on here. There is a name for those things. How silly of me. I can't find where I wrote it. It's called something like osteo something. Oh, I'm so sorry. Why don't you look it up and find it for me? Maybe I'll find it down here, because I wrote all this down so I wouldn't forget. You know, sometimes we forget things. So, what about the things they eat? Well, they pretty much eat a lot of the same things, the alligator turtle and the snapping turtle. They like to eat fish, and they're, let me see, hold on. I wanted to tell you something really, okay, so they eat fish, they eat frogs, poor frogs. And you know they both live in the pond. Reptiles, they will eat other turtles. They'll eat snakes, sometimes birds, and small mammals. So the alligator turtle has been known to eat foxes, nutria rat, which we have a lot in Louisiana when I lived there. But the common snapping turtle hunts for his food, so he goes around swimming in the water and looking, and he's aggressive, remember? The alligator snapping turtle he goes fishing, but in a different way than you might think. He gets in the water and he sits down at the bottom and he holds his big mouth open and he waits. But you know what he does, a little trick to try to trick fish into coming? His tongue is pink. Everything else looks camouflage, like the mud and the dirt and all that's around him. And he takes his little pink tongue and he wiggles it around, and whatever sees that and wants to come and get it, and he snaps down and eats it. That's why you don't put your hand anywhere near his mouth. So that's how they hunt. That's how they're different from the common snapping turtle. So now, turtles, the females, I told you, cross the road sometimes, or other places. They go on land kind of far from their water because they're looking for a place to lay their eggs. They can lay up to 25 to 80 eggs. Can you imagine having 80 brothers and sisters? So, now what she does is she digs a hole and she lays the egg. She scoots up her bottom, and she kind of lays the eggs, kind of like a chicken does. And then she takes her back feet and she scrapes and puts dirt and covers them up. I actually had a turtle lay eggs in my garden one time in Louisiana. And one of the neighbor kids came because he knew about them and dug them up. I wasn't happy about that. But when that happened, I learned that, because it's like the egg is this kind of not huge but big egg, and it's hard like the chicken eggs. But when the turtle has them, they're soft and kind of mushy. So when they land and after they sit a little while, they get hard. So that's how they come out so easily. And so, so the snapping turtles, they live in the water almost all the time. They don't leave very often except to travel from one pond to another, or when the females are laying eggs. Now, for the alligator turtle, and I assume for the snapping turtle, but I couldn't really find information about it more. It depends on how warm the nest is, whether the eggs will be boys or girls. So if it's higher temperature or lower temperature, it'll be a girl. But if it's warm in the middle, it'll be a boy. So it has to be just right to be a boy. And turtles reach their maturity, these kinds of turtles, when they're about 12 years old. So, now, turtles, they're not extinct, these that we're talking about, but they are kind of in danger because pollution is making their habitat hard to live. Their habitats are being destroyed with a lot of things being built, rivers and dams being redirected, trees and stuff being cut down in forests. And so there's a lot of things happening that are causing the turtle population to decline. Once a turtle has hatched, he's on his own. His mom is not very nurturing. She's like, "You're on your own, buddy. I'm out of here." After she lays those eggs. And then when they hatch, she doesn't even know when they hatch. And it usually takes 9 to 18 weeks. It depends. Like I said, the temperature has to be right. And so she leaves, and they're on their own. So when they go out, there's all kinds of things that eat them, like hawks, different birds, foxes, raccoons, and if an animal finds the nest, they eat the eggs. Raccoons love eggs. So there's a lot of things that are causing the population of turtles to not be as much as it used to be. So they're not on the endangered list, but I didn't even know this. There's a, I forgot what it's called, LC concern list. So there are concerns about them. I didn't know that. Did you? So those are some things to think about. And that's all I have. I will tell you this. The alligator snapping turtle, they're the biggest freshwater turtles, and the largest one that they have ever recorded weighed 250 pounds. Can you imagine that? Well, it's actually 249. I rounded it up. So that is like, let's see. That's like a little less than 2 of me. So that's big turtle. So I want you to go on the links that I provide on the YouTube channel and look up about the turtles and watch some of the videos. And I'll probably have to put my videos separate, so go and look at him. It's not really long because I didn't stand there and record him all day, and I didn't want to mess with him too much and make him mad. And and there's also a video link that I'll put on how to properly help a turtle across the street if you want to help him not get hit by a car. So remember that turtles are amazing creatures, and I think they're cute. They are reptiles. What's a reptile? Do you remember? They have scaly skin. Yes, and they have to have their body temperature maintained by outward things like the sun. That's why turtles sit on logs, and you'll see them on the bank sometimes because they're soaking up and getting in the sun. Oh, I wanted to tell you too. Alligator turtles, they have these little things, and I didn't even write the name down, off their eye. It looks like eyelashes. So if you can, look real closely. Especially, I think Coyote Peterson has a video where you can look close at their eye. But God is just so creative, and how He makes all these animals, and how pretty they are, and how many. There's a lot of different kinds of turtles, and their shells are different and pretty. And one of the links I have will have big squares of different kinds of turtles, and you can hit on that square of which turtle you like and learn about the turtles. The snapping turtle and the alligator turtle, they cannot pull their legs into their shell like other turtles, which I didn't even know. So you can learn all kinds of neat things when you're looking and reading and watching some videos. I try to give you a little information and look up some stuff myself, so I'm learning. But I want you to learn how to learn. It's fun to be able to learn because you get to learn, look this stuff up yourself and say that you were able to do that. And you know what? You never get too old to learn. I've just learned some new things looking this stuff up for you guys. So I can't believe I said that because I'm from the South. I meant y'all. I'm just joking. So I hope you enjoy it, and I will see if I can find like a picture or something for you to color. Or, I know, take some green construction paper and brown construction paper and cut it in little, not perfect squares, not perfect octagons, just some shapes. Glue it together on another piece of paper in the shape of a shell, and then draw a turtle's legs and his head coming out from under that shell. So you're making the shell with those pieces of construction paper. Do whatever shape you want. If you could make your own turtle and design it like God did, what would you do? What shape would you put on his shell? I think it's neat to think about those things and to remember that God is a creative God. That's where we get our creativity from, because we are made in the image of God. So there's many things about us that are made to be like God. And the more we know and love God and get to know Him, the more we can become more like Him, to show the character of God in our own life. So I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.